Hello my dear students, welcome back to another learning lessons in my Physio-Pulse channels. Today we will learn about the regulation of glycogenesis as well as the glycogenolysis. In a simple, easy to understand way, you will find clear explanations, diagram as well as the important concepts here. Before we begin, if you find the video helpful, please like, share and subscribe to support the channel. Now let's understand about the regulation of glycogenesis and glycogenolysis. In our last lecture, we have learned about the glycogenesis process as well as the glycogenolysis process, how glucose is converted to form the glycogen and as well as how glycogen break down to form the glucose molecules. And in the both cases, what we see, we have learned that the key regulatory enzyme of glycogenesis is the glycogen synthase and the key enzyme of glycogenolysis is glycogen phosphorylase. If you see the regulatory mechanism of both the process, there are the three steps, three important pathway. One is the allosteric regulations, and second is the hormonal regulations, and third some calcium ion influences. So if you see allosteric regulation of glycogen metabolism, what it means? Actually, when the substrate availability and energy level is high, glycogen synthesis is increased, and when glucose concentration is low, energy level is low, and glycogen at that time glycogen breakdown process is enhanced. So in well-fed state, glucose 6-phosphate allosterically activated and then glycogen synthase, and at the same time allosterically inhibit the glycogen phosphorylase. So one enzyme is activated and another enzyme is inhibited. The free glucose in the liver is also allosteric inhibitor of the glycogen phosphorylase. If you see these structures, then you can find clearly glycogen to glucose 1-phosphate with the help of glycogen phosphorylase enzyme, and these are the actual markers like the glucose phosphate, 6-phosphate, ATP, glucose, and calcium ions have role to convert the conversion of glycogen to the glucose 1-phosphates. And on the other way, if you see glucose 1-phosphate, it will be converted to form the glycogen in the glycogenesis process. At the time, glucose 6-phosphate has a tremendous role, and it can combine with the glycogen synthase to form the glycogen molecules from glucose 1-phosphates. So this is the regulatory first pathway of the glycogen regulation, glycogenesis or glycogenolysis. And now second, hormonal regulation of glycogen metabolism. Actually hormones, some hormones, epinephrine, they can control the glycogen synthesis and degradation by the covalent modifications, specifically phosphorylation as well as dephosphorylations. In that case, cyclic AMP acts as a second messenger. Cyclic AMP activates the protein kinase enzyme, and this protein kinase causes the phosphorylations of the enzyme and either activating or deactivating of them. So in this way hormonal regulations of glycogen metabolism is occurred. Now if you see another important interesting thing, that is the calcium ion role. When the muscle contracts, then calcium ions released from the sarcoplasmic reticulum. In the muscle, we have seen the muscle contraction processes. Then calcium bind with the calmodulin, and this calmodulin, it is nothing but the calcium binding protein. And after binding with calcium calmodulin, it makes a complex, and this complex directly activates the protein kinase enzyme without the involvement of the cyclical AMP. So in that way, it can also activate or deactivate this glycogen or glycogen synthase enzyme and glycogen phosphorylase enzyme. So if you see this ATP to cyclical AMP, when glucagon comes or epinephrine comes, then in presence of adenylyl cyclase, ATP is converted to form the cyclical AMP. This cyclical AMP activates the protein kinase enzyme, and then after phosphorylations, it inactivates the glycogen synthase enzyme and activate moreover glycogen phosphorylase enzyme. So in this way, glycogenesis or glycogenolysis are regulated. So already we have known actually glycogenesis, where it occurs and how the steps are happening and what are the enzymes is required to make the glycogen as well as the glucose molecules. So this is glycogen synthesis or glycogenesis and as well as the glycogenolysis. So students, if you find this video, please like the video and subscribe to the channel to turn on the notification bell so you do not miss any other biological classes. And thank you for watching, and see you in the next class. If you have any questions rise, please make some comments in my comments groups, and I will try to give you explanations as